What's up guys, it's Legendary Cry. Today I'm going to show you how to do the second mission solo on Legendary. And so you're going to start off and run to the left, and you're going to try to pick up a fresh plasma pistol. If you come over here to this ammo crate, there should be 100% plasma pistol over here. You can melee that grunt, I'm going to pass him up. Keep going to the left, you're going to come up this cliff, and you're going to see a carbine. And if you go around, you can actually pick up another ammo clip for it, so you can get a full carbine thing, a full clip of carbine, full ammo. Yeah, you want full ammo. Ooh, pretty. And anyway, let's keep going. We're gonna pick up this warthog, and you know, all this is pretty linear. You don't need me to explain where to go with this. You got some nice jumps. Over here, Cortana's like, "Oh, Chief, since you brought it up, there might be a way to save me," but I don't know why it actually didn't come up in this recording. Usually it does it, but I don't know why. Oh well. The way I do this, though, is once I get to the Covenant, I actually jump off of the Warthog, and I start taking out the Covenant right away in this front section. You want to take out these guys, because if you don't, they will get in the Ghost, and they will annoy the hell out of you. Either the Grunts or the Elite. So you want to take out the Greets. You want to take out the Grunts first, and then you want to take out the Elites, and then of course you work on the Jackals over there. So I have the video sped up just a little bit because you can still see the action and what exactly I'm doing, even though it's sped up. But I think it's better. You don't have to actually sit through a bunch of crap just to watch how to do something. So if you can take out those 3 grunts, good, but you can take them out later. I'm going to come up this right cliff, and you want to wait and take out that sniper last to make sure that you can actually go up there and take his beam rifle. So I took out everybody. This is the most annoying thing. I don't like the way they actually develop these sniping plateaus. I'm not really sure what they're called. Those sniping platforms. They feel too small compared to the other Halos, and the lift that takes you up, if you jump towards the lift, you'll actually get stuck. Now let me show you a really cool trick here. You can actually aim with the sniper, switch your weapons, and shoot, and you will hit the head or wherever you aimed at with your secondary weapon. So you can actually use this trick for any kind of stationary enemy, especially turrets. So here I'm going to aim. I accidentally moved the stick, obviously, but if you just aim with the sniper towards the head and you can see the red dot between the crosshairs, switch to your secondary weapon and you'll get the headshot for sure with your secondary. Now I took out the sniper on top. You want to make sure you were hiding behind that rock on that cliff so that the sniper couldn't shoot you. Don't go for the sniper just yet because you got to take out that elite. And notice here I jump towards the lift and of course I get stuck. But really, as soon as you try walking around that sniper platform, it doesn't feel like you have enough room to really move. And I get it that it's supposed to be only for Jackals, but in the other Halos you could actually move with some freedom. If you move in the wrong way, you're going to end up falling into the lift again, and it starts forcing you up against, I don't know, it's really annoying, and if you try it out you'll see what I mean. So here I took out that elite that's going to come at me. There's always going to be that elite that comes at you. You want to keep watch on your left and your right because there will be more grunts that come at you. Jackals will tend to be on the left, and here I'm going to kind of slowly move my way and take out that sniper. I want to be really careful of that sniper because that was really close contact right there. I'm trying to lure the enemies by jumping like that. You can come around this corner, and really the best tactic would probably be to pick up a plasma pistol and overcharge shot that elite and then take him out. But here I'm actually trying to walk with a plasma pistol and the beam rifle at the same time, but these guys decide to flank me. They were tired of waiting for me. Now I take out this elite like a boss, even though he tried to surprise me right there. But the earlier you can take him out, the better. Now the way I like to do this, I like to go to the right. You can go to the left. I think the enemies are kind of symmetrical, but the right to me just seems easier just because you can hide easier behind this rock. Turn around, you little bugger. So, moving along. There's going to be about 3, maybe 4 grunts up here. Now, there is a sword elite at the top, so you want to make sure you have easy access to a plasma pistol. Now let me show you what I kind of do. There he is staring at me. He always runs away. I take this plasma pistol and I kind of walk it over to the right hand side to make sure that there's no other weapons nearby, so I can pick it up easily without even thinking about it or having to look for it, just in case he starts running at me, because he will run at you as soon as you take out all the enemies, and it might be a little bit scary if you can't perform under pressure. And then I'm going to take this beam rifle. You want to try to keep the beam rifle as long as you can, because this next section is a pain, to say the least. Now, even though this next section is actually a pain, I want to keep at least one shot for the beam rifle, and I'll show you why after we get past this section. Now, if you go over to the right here, there's that ammo crate full of carbines, and you want to keep track of that. So I'm going to activate this and skip the cutscene, and we're going to run to the right to turn on this first generator. And you can go down, but I advise not to. I would say to jump onto the top platform and try to get this better angle to take out all of these grunts from above.
Actually, this type of processing system usually works in parallel. We'll have to locate its twin.
Now the reason why I went for the right first is because I know that these enemies are going to spawn, and by right I mean from the cartographer view. From the entrance to this area, it's actually on the left. Remember, the carbine ammo was on the right, and I went to the left because I want to fight my way over to the right so that I can refuel on ammo after I finish fighting. I don't want to go to the right first and then have to work my way back to, or fight the enemies and then come back to the ammo. So now I'm going to work my way over to the right, grab some ammo, and then let's activate this second generator. Running back. Again, camo when you can. Crouch and camo, and take all these guys out. You want to hide behind this barrier because there's actually a sniper elite. I can't remember if he has a sniper or if he has a carbine, but it's best to be safe than sorry. Look at him, staring at me with those evil red eyes. That's actually one nice thing that I like that Halo 4 did in changing the enemies. They made the jackals who snipe a lot easier to spot by adding that red face mask or whatever they have. Okay, so you had a carbine. Now this part's a little bit tricky. You don't want to use your plasma pistol. You don't want to use your beam rifle. If you can pick up a plasma pistol, that's probably the easiest way to go. I kind of didn't want to wuss out and go grab a plasma pistol, so I took these guys head on and just shot them up full of carbines. Da-di-da-di-da, and you're gonna drop. Good. Now let's go activate that cartographer, and we're gonna skip the cutscene again, because you should be able to view the cutscenes yourself on your own time and enjoy the story. Now you can take the hard light shield. I don't really personally like using it. I find it kind of useless in multiplayer and even in campaign, honestly. So here is where I was talking about that you want to keep your beam rifle for. This grunt on that turret is such an asshole that I had to take care of him as soon as possible. Now you can do it with the carbine, but sometimes when he starts shooting at you and you're trying to shoot him with the carbine, everything starts getting messy because you're getting a lot of recoil because he's shooting you, and you start dropping really fast and you start panicking. This is my favorite.
Would it have killed you to use the elevator?
That is my favorite line in the whole game right there. I love when Cortana says that. What was I saying? We were talking about turrets. Oh, right. You might choke under the pressure of trying to kill him while he's shooting at you. And you better not. It's best not to take that chance. Stick Roar. And then if you continue along this bridge actually breaks. Well, it doesn't really break, but it doesn't have a top section. It has a gap in the top section, so you have to go down under to the bottom section. This bridge has 2 layers to it, and once you get to that point, there will actually be a jackal with a beam rifle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to waste this beam rifle, or maybe just forget about it completely, and I am going to take that jackal's beam rifle as soon as I can kill him. See that guy? That guy is the one who I care about. I want his beam rifle. Careful of those needles. Needler is very overpowered in this game. And by overpowered, I mean it's a lot more powerful than it has been in any previous Halo title. So, once we pick up this beam rifle, I'm going to jump in this Banshee, and I'm going to take off as far away from the enemies as I can, because Banshees could be trailing you, and that Phantom could be shooting you with its grunt turret. Now, you want to take out these Banshees as best as you can. As soon as they start aiming at you or looking straight at you, you want to start diving or dive rolling, barrel rolling. You want to get out of the way as best as you can. If you can actually hide behind these pillars, just like I showed you right there. And it looks a little bit silly, but it's actually kind of funny to do, in my opinion. And after that, you can kind of circle around and take out the enemies with the Banshee, but you're more likely to be taken out of the sky that way, so I prefer not to be. Notice that rocket on the ground to the left. That's actually going to be very important for the next section coming up. We're going to backtrack over here and pick it up after we take out all these enemies and clear the way for us. Notice there's going to be enemies on the second floor, or not the second floor, the floor underneath you. And so if you can take them out, but they will come up eventually, so you can wait for them. In fact, I think I wait for them. Just like that, the jackals are coming up now. Hey, Elite. What? You're gonna die. What? Did you know that wart, or whatever they're saying, is actually their language for go? True story. So whenever they're like instructing those grunts to go, wart, they're actually telling them to go, and kill the demon, which is Master Chief. So this final elite is actually a big pain in the rump. I think he takes about 4 shots before he even decides to drop his armor. 1, 2, 3, and then with 3 shots and 1 from the carbine, you can actually drop his armor and then headshot him. So yeah, 4 shots, 4 clean shots to the head, well 3 to the body, or anywhere actually, to drop his armor, not drop his armor, to lower his armor, and then the 4th one to the head to take him out. So I backtracked, picked up this rocket. Now we're going to continue on. The rocket is important for the ghosts in this next section. There's going to be 2 ghosts, and they're annoying unless you have the right equipment to deal with them.
They're ordering all units to
You can run to the left in the next section to get the saw, but honestly on Legendary I feel like the saw isn't as powerful as it is on probably any other level. Or in multiplayer for that matter. The saw can actually tear through vehicles quite nicely in multiplayer. So there's going to be 4 grunts in front of you. I didn't mention, on the left side, you saw me take out 2 grunts and a sniping jackal. You want to take out those grunts as soon as possible before taking out the 4 in the front, simply because there's that turret on the left-hand side that can also be a big pain. So taking out those grunts stops them from getting to that turret, so you can focus on other things like this ghost. So here I'm going to cloak, and I'm going to silently walk forward. Is he going to stay there? Is he going to stay there? He's going to stay there, so I'll shoot him. Good. And then if you can kind of hear in the background, there's going to be a second ghost approaching fast. There he is. Boom! That was a little early. My bad. So I'm going to creep over to this right side, and it actually gives you a nice little platform to jump up and flank those enemies up there. Now, careful, he has a beam rifle, so you don't want to jump without knowing what you're getting into. And in fact, if you can camouflage and jump, that's even better. Notice how I have 2 shots left on the carbine, so I'm not going to be shooting without knowing I'm going to hit. Huh, the audio is a little bit off for some reason. Sorry about that. So in this next section, there's going to be an elite and about 4 grunts around him. He gets a rocket to the face. And to clean up the grunts, you can choose whatever weapon you really want. There's not too much of a point to keep the beam rifle any longer, because the only other part to have the beam rifle for is when you're about to face the 2 hunters, but you'll actually have access to another beam rifle before you even get there. So if you turn around and actually turn to your right, there's actually going to be some carbine ammo along this crate. So let's take that, drop the beam rifle, keep the rocket if you want. Not too important really what your secondary is at this point. Maybe a plasma pistol if that's your thing. But here I just wanted to kind of waste it just because I had it. Now there's going to be a sword elite. It's going to be like, roar. Funny, in one of the playthroughs that I did for this, that the grunt behind him was charging his plasma pistol and actually overcharged the elite from behind, and I half expected him to turn around and actually sword the grunt. Just because I played Doom recently and I remember seeing the enemies fight amongst themselves. Now you want to cloak because around this corner there's going to be a beam rifle jackal, and that's where you're going to get your other beam rifle. Now you could have went to the right or to the left after the sword elite. It doesn't matter because the enemies are exactly symmetrical, and the enemies don't spawn unless you go one of the 2 directions. So if you go to the left enemies will spawn. If you go to the right enemies will spawn. Now if you go to the left and you pussy out and then go to the right, then you actually have 2 sets of enemies to deal with. So just choose one and stick to it. So now that we take out those 2 elites, this ammo crate before these 2 ramps will have a fuel rod, and come up one of the sides, choose a hunter, hit him, come up to the other side, unload your full clip on him, and then run to the other ramp, and just keep repeating just like that. Ramp to ramp, hunter to hunter. And with that, guys, we're actually done with this mission. There's a little bit more running to do, but I trust that you can handle the rest. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please like and subscribe for more helpful videos in the future. And as always, guys, I'll see you next time.